I believe that it is time that college students, especially at the most politically active school in the country, get involved not just with politics on campus and on a national scale, but get involved with local politics. Even though we're young students, we're still in school, we can still make a big impact.
Tonight, we'll be looking at a local issue that affects the entire AU community, whether they know it or not. The Advisory Neighborhood Commission, ANC, is the local form of government that has authority over liquor licenses, parking enforcement, and zoning laws.
On November 2nd, residents of ANC 3D02 and 3D07 turned out to vote for who would be their next ANC representatives. Freshman Dion Jones ran for the vacant seat covering Southside. Freshman Tyler Sedonis ran against incumbent Tom Smith for the district covering Northside.
Oh, I see.
Both the A Voice for You campaign and Tom Smith turned out at the polls.
Play by the rules, or I will immediately call down to the Board of Elections.
Tom Smith is the definition of a ward boss. Very much in the boss tweed mold. Owns his own slice of the city. Unfortunately, it looks like he's got guys on the Board of Elections. They're challenging a lot of our ballots.
We may not own a house here in the neighborhood, we're still residents in this area.
I'm going to try to, after going to the apartments, go to the Tilden Street area. Okay. I think that should be a good area. Do you have Tom Smith's address? Because I don't want to know.
I don't. Oh, yeah, I do. Yeah, I do have it written down. I have the addresses of actually all of the people who signed the petition.
Okay, well, I don't want to... Stephen approached me back in September. He was talking about the ANC, the importance of the election. At first, I thought it was like a student government position, and I had just the day before decided that I wasn't going to run for student government. As we talked more and more, I realized it wasn't AU student government, it was actually like an elected office position. It's estimated that students make up 60% of the population, and there's no one on the ANC who's advocating for our concerns and for our viewpoints. Having a little student representation is a good thing. I think it's a necessary thing. I think there's things that the students need that I can advocate for, but there's also things that the neighborhood needs that I'm willing to learn about.
Students live here at least 8 months out of 12. In some cases, they live here year-round. It's absolutely crucial that students have a voice here and to advocate for student issues on campus. Our view is that no one resident is more important than any other resident.
What I was hoping this would actually be an exercise in students getting to interact with neighbors through canvases, through events, that kind of thing. And we'd all like hold hands and have rainbows.
Sedonis is receiving an increased amount of opposition from Smith's campaign. Over the past few weeks, Smith has submitted 2 complaints and signed a petition against the AV for You campaign and Tyler Sedonis himself.
The city has laws that are designed to protect the integrity of the elections process. And when candidates or campaigns treat those laws cavalierly or try to circumvent them or even violate them, then that compromises the elections process.
Smith signed a petition to the Board of Elections saying, "A Voice for You must stop spreading misleading information stating that students can register as DC voters, then switch back to their home states after this election." AV for You responded that students who switched their registration knew what they would have to go through to switch back and that they were making an informed decision.
I don't think his petitions have any merit at all. We were sent out a document with stating the legal code of the United States of America that said that what we're doing is 100% legal.
Smith filed 2 complaints of his own over the past weekend. The first alleges that Sedonis has not lived in the precinct long enough to be eligible. Smith's second complaint focuses on campaign finance. While AV4U says they have adhered to the $25 donation limits for each candidate, Smith contends that AV4U has freely given much more than that in services to Tyler Sedonis himself.
It's all about complying with the law and interpretation of the law, and we'll see what happens.
It's 6 days till Election Day. We've now had 3 complaints or petitions filed against us by Tom Smith. They're pretty serious accusations. We haven't really taken them very seriously. So we have a hearing, a mandatory hearing we have to attend on Friday. Tyler Sedonis, in specific, could face up to, I believe, $2,000 in fines.
I take Tom Smith as a fundamentally good guy. I think he has done some things for the community. This campaign was never about Tom Smith. It was about getting a voice and getting engaged. When he says those things and when he files all these things, a lot of it could just be resolved by giving Barat a call, shooting us an email. There are definitely, tons of students here who care about these issues.
I emphasize to my team, the smaller the campaign, the more brutal it is.
Right now it's about making sure we can get our voters out. There's an election in just over 2 days, and we need to make sure that we can get our people out. The height of Henderson and Lex. Okay. Now this blackout where it dries in the bristles. I got involved once they crossed 80 students who were registered voters. And I said, well, there's just no way I can let you guys go down now that you got so many people to change their registrations.
Hello. Hi. Good morning. Happy Election Day.
I woke up around 5:45 a.m. I was at the polls all day. I did not skip class, Mom. Be proud.
To see that there's actually people here at this hour, this early, I think it shows that it's going to be a big day and a long day, but we're looking forward to it. The fact that it's my first time voting, I think it's another exciting aspect of it.
I'm hoping this is an opportunity to start that conversation, even if we got off on the wrong foot a little bit. At least it shows that we care about this community.
It's going to be hard because of your doing this. It creates a problem to those of us where it was unnecessary. You created your own problem by having taken finally that ANC seat we've had for you. Remember to vote for Tom Smith, your ANC person on the ballot.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much for being here.
Well, I mean, I'm not nasty, but...
No, I completely understand.
But I just think it was stupid.
Well, as a student, as a resident, how about, we pledge after this?
I mean, what you should do is take the seat that's yours, because no other university has it. And you should have done that, and not cause hostility. Run for the other one.
In no way are we ever trying to do hostility.
Well, it is hostile when you had a seat. You should have just taken that freaking seat.
We've never had a seat.
Yes. You have always had that for 10 years. There has been a seat.
But there's never been an American University student.
But anybody could have done it.
And actually, there has been a student.
There was.
You all just don't know anything.
Yeah.
I hate to tell
It's good to meet you.
There has been a student.
I really hope we can.
But there was a student once.
You have a lot to do to do that.
Yeah. I mean,
well,
I'll be really honest with you.
I really look forward to working with you on that, and I hope we have a really civil and good day today. And I just wanted to say
I hope so
thank you.
too, and that'll be up to you.
Okay. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Election Day was incredible. From 7 a.m. to 8 at night, I've never seen anything like it. It was so great to see everyone so enthusiastic, whether it was on campus running around with vote bots or chalking to show students how to get to the polls, or Tyler and Dion and a crew of folks helping out outside. Ideally, it would have been great to get 2 students elected, myself and Dion, but I think the fact that we got Dion elected and we made my opponent earn his victory, and we advocated to the community that AU students want to get more involved in government, I think all of that is a great victory in itself. The number who were able to, correctly put Tyler's name in the right ballot place, not vote Tyler for mayor, and the number who were correctly, able to vote without being challenged by the system that probably intimidated folks, was smaller than maybe we'd hoped.
Smith and volunteers for his campaign repeatedly threatened AU students volunteering for Jones and Sedonis, saying that they would report them to the Board of Elections if they campaigned in prohibited areas too close to the polling station.
Excuse me. already said it once. Beyond the 50-foot mark. That's where you're supposed to be. Okay? Beyond the, if you're not going to play by the rules, I will immediately make a call.
I'm sorry.
Okay? I will immediately make a call.
And that's totally fine.
You have to be
Meanwhile, Smith continued to campaign in the prohibited areas. Poll watchers contested ballots cast by students repeatedly throughout the day.
The lady doing the special ballot box asked the people who were contesting, I don't know who they were, probably about like 4 or 5 times whether they were contesting my ballot because I was from Texas. Each time they said no, she continually asked them. So that was kind of annoying, and I wasn't sure like why they were doing that.
In a place that hadn't seen ballot challenges in a decade, the number that were challenged on Election Day was absurd, and it was clearly targeted at students, and it was targeted in Tyler's district specifically. And that kind of thing smells like voter intimidation.
There were 35 challenges this year. I don't know if DC BOEE had been coordinating with Tom Smith, but there's certainly a case to be made.
Even though we're young students, we're still in school, we're still learning about life and where we want to go, we can still make a big impact.
We really want to set up an infrastructure where we could have 20, 30 students in 2012 run for ANC seats.